Hello and welcome into the happy hour here on the Four Star Sports Media Network. I'm your host, Blake. And as you can see, this week I've got a little special guest to start off the show with Jonathan Sturdivant here from the Four Star family. He has the Inside the Line show and he helps cover the Memphis Tigers on the Memphis side of Four Star Sports. But before we get started, I want to say, we're brought to you by SeatGeek. So if you're ready for the big game, score a touchdown with your ticket purchase. Use promo code 4 Star Sports Media on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first order. Do not miss out on the action and grab your tickets today and save. So we had a little Memphis style pig roast down in Memphis last weekend. It was a just looking at it from a fan, not a Razorback fan, but a college football fan side of it. It was a great college game to go
College
to.
game to go to.
It was a to me it was a great atmosphere.
Here,
Go over some stats real quick.
real quick.
So Memphis ran the ball all over Arkansas to the tune of 324 yards with a net of 290 yards rushing. That's an average of 7.1. Sutton Smith carried the ball 12 times for 147 yards, one touchdown, and that long run of 64 yards. And then Lewis was 15 to 30 for 199 and one touchdown, and he was sacked three times. And on the Arkansas side, we ran the ball for 175 with Mike Washington being the leader there. I just wish he wouldn't fumble the ball at the end. Then Taylor Green kind of had a Taylor Green game where he showed flashes like a home run hitter, and then he showed where he can kind of strike out some. Those interceptions that he was throwing right to Memphis. But John, just what's your overall thoughts from last Saturday?
Well, first of all, Blake, thanks for having me. It was a great environment, first of all, from both
Mm-hmm.
fan base. I enjoyed, to be honest with you, I thought there would have been a lot more Arkansas fans that would have showed up,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, for that type of game, but I think I understand why. Let's be real, man. 11 a.m. is kind of hard to do for a lot of fans for back-to-back weekends for the Arkansas fan base. I know people traveling from all over the state of Arkansas just to get here for one thing, and they were probably trying to save their money for Notre Dame game as well
Yeah.
too. So, but overall, I'm going to say this: a lot of people ask me, how did Arkansas fans get the lower bowl seats, like the lower level, like first few rows and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say this to the listeners that are out there. I think the University of Memphis put like a 3-game mini package out there. An Arkansas game was included, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of fans are like buying those mini packages because it's only like $85 itself, and $60 of that is basically the Arkansas game. So they can always get their money back for the other two games that Memphis has on that mini package. And that's one reason I think that's why a lot of Arkansas fans bought those close up seats, closer to the field and whatnot. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts on that before I get a little bit more depth on the game in my opinion?
Yeah. I mean, when we got to the stadium, I stayed around Jonesboro. My in-laws live up there, so we went up Friday night, stayed, slept, and then drove up Saturday morning, just about an hour drive, and we hit some traffic as we got close to the stadium, and we parked and got out, and it was just a sea of blue. I was not I was expecting honestly a 50-50 split from Razorback fans, Memphis fans, but I got out and told my wife, I said, we are in enemy territory. Okay, this is not your typical bowl game atmosphere like I was thought it would be, where the fans are kind of split in half. But Memphis, Memphis came out. I would say what, maybe 10,000 Razorback fans, 15,000 out of the 39,000 that was there. Um, but it was, I mean, I was shocked at the amount of Memphis fans that were there because I knew, with the construction going on, some fans kind of choose not to go to the games, no matter if it's an SEC opponent or not. And Razorback fans are notorious for traveling, because there's fans all over the state, and Memphis is, a rock's throw away from Arkansas. So I was thinking more Razorback fans were going to be there. Now in my section, we had a good split. There was a couple of Razorback fans sitting in front of me, one without a shirt on, and he was talking his stuff. He was
Yeah.
talking his stuff the whole game, and when that fumble happened and the refs like said it was overturned, he got put his shirt back on and just walked out of there. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a great atmosphere. I mean, Memphis fans around us, they were great. They love Memphis. They love Silverfield. They just love the Memphis Tigers and love to see an SEC opponent come in for them to be able to rush the field.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I also want to say this. We got a comment here, looks like, from Four Star Sports
Yeah,
Show. Looks like Wes Pruitt here.
yeah. I think this is to you, John. It says, what were your
Okay.
thoughts on the 11 a.m. night game, and was this an issue for the Razorbacks?
That's a very good question because I feel like maybe on both sides there was a little bit 11 a.m. jitters just because one, you're playing on national TV. Two, I feel like the Arkansas Razorbacks, they haven't really, to me personally, what time are you getting to Memphis in general the night before?
Yeah,
Are you, I know,
yeah,
me personally, I've always been in favor of like getting there like middle afternoon, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, grab a bite to eat, that type of stuff in the
hmm
afternoon before your dinner, whatnot. I've always been a fan of that. And then do your walkthrough at the stadium right after that, to be honest with you too. So yeah, I just want to say this, but overall for the game perspective, Arkansas fans were not really that loud at all in the stadium at all either.
hmm
You never
yeah,
really heard y'all's favorite chant, the Woo
hmm
Pig, at all.
hmm
I know
yeah,
y'all scored touchdowns and scored,
hmm
but it
yeah,
was never really loud enough for the whole stadium to experience it.
yeah,
I also want to say that. Uh,
hmm
but from a game perspective, I felt like the second interception that he threw, clearly, he barely threw the ball.
hmm
He like lobbed it over there to the Memphis player. I also want to say this: turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. You brought up the fumble already, which
hmm
I question the play calling, man. I question the play calling because, like Wes brought up with me on the show last week, or when we did our recap on the Memphis game as well. Where's the? I know the running back only had like what, one carry in that fourth quarter. So
yeah,
four carries
hmm
in the first half, but he only had like one
yeah,
carry in the second half.
hmm
But I also want to say this, man. Like 2nd and 2, I know you're trying to let Memphis use their timeouts. Try to get the first down off of it. But your offensive linemen, man, are averaging what, 350 pounds?
yeah, yeah,
Why not let your 6'6" quarterback maybe do like a quarterback sneak and get like 2 or 3 yards off of it? If they can't
hmm
block for a 6'6" running quarterback with a quarterback sneak, there's something wrong in this college football
yeah,
era, right?
yeah,
So I kind
hmm
of question that a little bit because I know you jeopardize running the football and getting a fumble. But that's my question. Why are you not doing a quarterback sneak and letting more time go at the clock as well? I
yeah,
know you're trying to set up for a game winning field goal and get more yards to help your kicker out because he's a true freshman, whatnot
hmm
as well.
yeah,
But turnovers, man, like and dumb penalties at the wrong time. False
hmm
starts, holdings.
hmm
Yeah, yeah, Arkansas fans were grappling about that last touchdown right before half from Memphis,
oh
which
yeah,
I feel like you can call that on both sides, really, looking
hmm
back at it. But they have always said a defense player does not turn around, in
yeah,
college football. That's kind of like a
hmm
penalty, too. But if that's the case, why did they not throw a penalty in the first quarter when Memphis was driving and the defense player for Arkansas didn't turn around and grab them?
yeah. I think
So,
because that touchdown before half happened right in front of me. All right, because that
right.
that was the end zone I was in, or sideline I was by. And I mean, even I could. I mean, like you said, I think it should have been a. If you're going to call a penalty, call it both ways. But you're right in the first quarter. There were some questionable non-calls. You know, I was obviously sitting around more Memphis people, and they were, that's pass interference, and I'm like, yeah, it kind of is, but they don't call it, they don't call it. But it seemed to be as the game went on, the refs started calling more. Feel like they were letting them be a little more physical in the first quarter, and they just kind of they were throwing more flags. But I'll never ever blame a game on the refs. So if they call it, they call it. They don't, they don't. Yes, there's questionable calls, but there's questionable calls in every game. Like I said, you can call holding probably on every single run play. Um, but the refs don't control the fumble. The refs also don't. Wes brought up a good point here about says why no criticism of the offense. Talking about the Razorbacks only scored 3 points in the second half. Fumbles. Are we not teaching fundamentals offensively? These are questions that deserve to be asked. The offensive struggles the past two games have showed up in the second half. Remember that shootout in Ole Miss? Well, the shootout kind of ended in the second half for both teams. It was kind of back and forth, kind of turned into a little punt fest a little bit. And then this past week versus Memphis, it was uh, we had a great first half and then second half, just not. And Memphis defense, they may be smaller and all that, but they give 100% effort. They know where they're going. They know who to cover. They know who to tackle. And one of the key plays I think in the game was that Taylor Green sack that got him out of field goal range, where the linebacker was blitzing and he looked like he turned around, but the lineman already engaged with the nose tackle, and he just is an open lane to sack Taylor Green. That's one of the biggest plays in the game that's not really talked about too much.
Another thing that kind of stood out to me was the defensive linemen were going in and out a lot in that second half. They were like number 95, you know what I'm talking about, which I'll talk about here
Hmm.
in a minute, who got
Yeah.
dragged on that third
Hmm.
down play. Uh, and number 97, y'all's other defensive end was substituting like crazy. It was
Yeah.
like a little bit of fatigue with
Hmm.
them because I feel like the heat maybe got to them a little bit also. I wonder if
Hmm.
that's what happened. Maybe Arkansas did not get used to the heat in the second half, where Sam Pittman did say in the presser, we haven't really had practice that much in the heat.
Hmm.
We've been in the 80s and 70s while Memphis has
Hmm.
been in the 85 to 90 range and temperature wise all week, pretty much going into
Yeah.
that game. But my
Hmm.
thing is, though, why are you not subbing your defensive backs, safeties, corners, 6 in, 6 out, like Memphis has pretty much the whole ball game? And I feel like that's maybe another factor why Arkansas might have lost that game because they didn't substitute enough on defense, where
Yeah.
Memphis did.
Well, I'll tell you, there's the reason for that is there are no substitutes. Our depth is like we have a converted offensive lineman who's in the rotation on defensive line. Like it's, I mean,
Mhm.
I understand we have players. I got that. We got players to fill that position, but you would rather have a tired Cam Ball than someone else coming in. It's just it's just kind of how our transfer portal recruiting class it just worked out. As our D line is not very good. Our whole defense isn't very good. But yeah,
You think that was a
that's
factor, though?
yeah. And also about the temperatures, I've heard someone say it was like 86, 87 degrees. It was not. It was hot. Okay. It was hot where I was. I don't know you Memphis fans, you where you sit, you might have the shade or something. But I
I'm
got
in
I
the
got
other
some.
end zone with you,
Yeah.
so like I'm on the other
Yeah.
side. But it was like
Yeah.
92, 93 degrees in the second half,
Yeah.
pretty much the whole
Yeah.
second half.
I got some sunburn, probably some skin cancer to prove that it was hot. Okay. But
What
here's
was
the
your
thing.
yeah?
Arkansas's first game, it was, you think first game is going to be hot. It was almost fall like in Arkansas, like 70s and 80s. So this is the first real hot game. Now that's no excuse because you practice in the summer heat, but it's the player's first time in game action with the heat. But like I said, that's not an excuse.
Well, what was your thoughts on the time management that he did? Do you kind of agree with the play calling a little bit though,
Yeah.
like I brought up?
Hmm.
Do you want your quarterback to handle it because he's been in the system for the second 2 years in a
Yeah, I
row?
mean, I would looking back at it now that I know Washington fumbles. Yeah, I mean, I might want to run a little because like the last three plays to me from where I was sitting looked like the same play. Right before Washington fumbled. Um, so I mean, if you could have done a little play action rollout boot, let Taylor read, and then if you don't like it, keep it a run, staying in bounds.
Right,
I
like
don't.
dive and just
Uh
slide it
huh.
at the 1 yard line or something
Hmm.
like that, right? Because
Yeah.
that's one reason
Now.
I feel like the quarterback keeper could came and
Hmm.
play. He's
Yeah.
six
I
foot
don't.
six, guys.
Uh, I don't know if Pittman's or Petrino they were playing for the field goal. I hope not because we have a freshman kicker who missed two field goals against Ole Miss, and I understand he made a few, some against Memphis, but um, I don't know. It's just mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. But looking at it for Memphis, y'all are what probably. I mean, y'all are in a playoff driver's seat. I think if you just win the rest of your games.
I mean, like last year, Wes and I brought up, and you have
Hmm.
listened to this point where you beat Florida State last year on the road, and then you followed up with the Navy loss.
Yeah.
I know this, like you're favored probably maybe by 7.5 to beat Navy last year on the road. This year, you got Florida Atlantic that are 13.5 point favorite Memphis is right now, and going to a stadium you haven't been to since like a bowl game. Some of the players haven't played on this field at all. Some players, maybe have, in either high school or either somewhere down the road before, you know. But the thing that concerns me is Memphis just can't come out flat in this game. They can't take a team lightly like Florida Atlantic. It's your first conference game. You know what not? You have to just take care of business because you got Tulsa the week after. I know the game's at home against Tulsa, but Tulsa just I know people say, well, Oklahoma State is down this year, man, but you beat a Big 12 team on the road in Oklahoma State.
Hmm.
So the next couple weeks, I think, before bye week actually hits, and then the latter half of the schedule, you just got to take care of business and be a Memphis football player and just protect the home field.
Hmm. Yeah. And speaking of home field, I just want to talk about the Memphis atmosphere. I think it's a very underrated atmosphere because I mean, it was rocking at 11 o'clock. Sold out to what it could be. There's a big hole in the stadium, but all the seats were packed out. The fans were into it. When they overturned that fumble call, I think I told you this. It was literally shaking, like the stands were. Um, so I enjoyed, all they had to fly over for FedEx, and it was just a good game to go to. If just wish the Hogs would have pulled it out. And Wes, I want to mention this real quick. Wes says the Tigers players are more confident in their defensive scheme. We at Four Star Sports were on the real NWAJB and mentioned this as the reason the Tigers will win a close game. And as we know now, they did win that close game. Um,
Going forward with Ole Miss, I know Ole Miss, or not Ole Miss, but Arkansas
yeah.
has Notre Dame this week.
Hmm.
The line really hasn't moved at all either throughout the week, looks like, because now
Well, it's
Notre Dame is like,
moved. Well, it's moved a lot since it first opened. Like when it very
yeah,
first opened, it was like 12, 11 and a half, 12 and a half points. And last I looked, it was at 4.5. Now it's been going from 3.5 to 5.5, just depending on which which site you look at. Which is I told Ashton this week and Jason. I said it would be the most Arkansas thing to do to win this weekend and like win by like 10 points, not
right.
by a field goal, not by something close, like just win by 10, where you fumble the games away essentially at Memphis and at Ole Miss. But my thing about the game this weekend, if we win, then I think Pittman will finish out the year. And then if he doesn't win, we have a bye week coming up, and that will, um, we'll say bye bye to Sam. I guess I'm not saying. I'm just That's just kind of what it seems to be. Because Arkansas Twitter this week has been it's been
Oh
fun.
yeah, it's been fun to watch, but God, like I want to say this also, Blake. I know you've seen the people bash Sam Pittman. They've been on favor with them all season long until
Hmm.
last Saturday, right?
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, he's going to win 8 or 9 games this year. This is the goal." But now you want to talk bad about him since they lost to a Memphis team.
Hmm.
Are people just not giving Memphis enough credit? And I feel like that's what it is. Also, I feel like people are not saying, "Well, this is a bad loss." To me, it was
Hmm.
really a toss-up game before the season even started.
Yeah.
This game could have gone really either way because you got so many new faces on the Memphis roster, the Arkansas roster too, especially at skill positions, right? The
Yeah.
receiving port of it, um, the defense, like you said, a lot of question marks. Then also a lot of new players on Memphis' defense. Are Arkansas media just not giving Memphis enough credit? It feels like, or do you think they're just saying this is a bad loss because it's Memphis?
I just think it's a bad loss because it's to not to a power forward team. Um, I just think, I mean, before before we even knew the rosters, like, last year we was talking about this game before we even knew who was going to be on what team, that this game was going to be tough. Memphis is, if you look at their record the past 4 or 5 years, it's been, double digit wins. You know, Silverfield, you may not want to hear this as a Memphis fan, and Wes has told me otherwise, but he might be going up looking for a power forward job. So,
But I'm gonna be honest with you. If he is smart enough, like he said in his presser, I love it here. That type of stuff. Which we've had that speech before. But if I'm Ryan Silverfield and I'm getting Virginia Tech calling me, I'm getting like UCLA calling me. The list goes on and on. Heck, if Oklahoma State even calls me, to be honest with you, why would you even jeopardize winning 7 or 8 games or even 6 games, per year or whatever, and then just jeopardize your coaching career at that new
mhm,
school when you're at Memphis right now, winning 9 or 10 games a year, plus playing some decent quality teams on the schedule, in the near future, if the schedule stays together. That's the main thing. We talked about this numerous times. Arkansas might not be on the schedule in 2028 and 2030 now after what happened
mhm,
Saturday
yeah,
night. Um, and then Mississippi State is on the schedule for Memphis in the near future also. So, long story short, why would Ryan Silverfield jeopardize going to another school when he's got it made at Memphis? I know people want to bash the conference, and whatnot, but I feel like this day and age, anybody can beat anybody on a given day. Heck, look
yeah,
at East Carolina Army. Last time I saw it, 21-0 East Carolina
yeah,
over Army. I know
mhm,
Army's down this year, but that's making a statement against a quality team in Army when that offense is tough to defend in general.
yeah,
So I feel like that game in general, because I mean that coaching job, I would stay at Memphis
mhm,
if I'm Ryan. I know another
yeah,
key fact in the Arkansas game, Blake,
mhm,
was that
mhm.
third down conversion. We talked about this numerous times. Three and
Oh yeah,
ten for Arkansas on
mhm,
third downs. And that's what
yeah,
shocks me the most because Arkansas was so good on offense on third downs and games past. But to your point, I still feel like they did not run the ball enough. Yeah, they had
mhm.
3 sacks for 23 yards. Whatnot. Hey, the punter looks pretty good for Arkansas. That's a
Oh yeah,
plus.
yeah. All
So,
American. I mean, all American.
so 47 yards on the average punt for
Mhm.
him. But the time of possession, man, like Memphis controlled the clock. We talked about this last week, right? 6 minute drives from Memphis, 4 minute drives from Memphis. Arkansas had like 3 minute drives, 2 minute drives at one time. I feel like that was another factor in that game. With
Yeah. And I will say, Memphis kicked that onside kick. I don't know if that was planned or I mean,
I think it was.
didn't work. And then that receiver. pass that was a duck, through the air. That was a. I thought, oh, well, Memphis done did these two trick plays. I mean, they've done tried everything they can, and it's not working. But in the second half, Memphis just played their normal ball, normal football, and ended up winning the game.
Jason, how's it going, man?
Oh, hold on, there he is. He's mute. There he
Oh,
is.
there we go. Yeah, everything's going good.
Jason, what was your thoughts? I want to ask you this: with being an Arkansas fan, Blake's brother over here, what was your thoughts on the play calling in the last minute and a half of that game?
Well, honestly, I didn't really finish watching the game.
Oh,
I had to go out of town for during that second half of the game. I was trying to listen to it on the radio.
so so you're the reason. You're the reason. Me and him are like like if it's a good game, me and him will just sit in the same spot. And if it's a bad game, we'll we'll just switch. Uh,
But I mean, honestly though, I mean, you have to hold on to the ball. I mean, on that fumble.
yeah.
But I mean, in our defense at the end, I mean, we've had what was it? At least two plays where they should have had the guy tackled at or behind the line of scrimmage, and they end up getting what 5, 6, 8 yards out of it. Um, Especially at the
Yeah, I
very
was
end.
telling Blake, and I was telling Blake, you got a quarterback that's 6'6", man. Like, why not just
Yeah.
do a quarterback sneak, just get some positive yards? Why don't you do a quarterback rollout
Hmm.
and just let him do his thing and just go to like the 1 yard line and just let more time go at the clock that way or something similar to that. And don't rely on your field goal kicker. I know they're trying. Memphis thought about maybe letting Arkansas score. That's another thing that I had a question about. But I'm just
Now,
surprised you just not let him use your quarterback ability, man. Like
I
I
honestly
felt
did
like
think that Memphis was going to allow Arkansas to score at the very end of the game. I mean, Memphis could have easily moved the ball down on the field with us with a short amount of time left.
Just by running or throwing, it
Yeah,
didn't matter.
yeah. I mean, Arkansas is going to be 14th in defense this year in the SEC.
No, oh, I think that's a little improvement.
But
Like, what is your thoughts on this weekend, man? Like, I'm kind of concerned. I know your defense. We talked about this, man. Like, do you think the offense is really going to show up, or do you think it's going to be another letdown? In general.
I've to me this has the makings of the Ole Miss game because I think I've listened to some podcasts this week and a lot of people want Freeman fired for some reason. I mean, I know he lost two games, but I mean, you got to look at who he lost to: Miami and Texas A&M. Miami wasn't close, but Texas A&M it was kind of lucky. I mean, so I think we need to pump the brakes on that. But here's this game could be close or what we call let go of the rope type game, where if it's not going good, it's really not going to go good, especially in a somewhat packed out Razorback Stadium. Might be the last time this season that it's packed out. With everything that's been going on this week, Braylon Russell's dad is fighting, former Razorback great DJ Williams, and just things on Twitter that are being coming out about the NIL situation. It's a lot of things for those players to think about, let alone playing for the number 22 ranked team to come into your house.
yeah, but I mean, as a fan, this season especially, I mean, you kind of go into it expecting to probably lose this game, to be honest with you. But if we do end up happening to upset them, again, it wouldn't surprise me because Arkansas has one or two wins every year that they're not supposed to win, and this may be one of those games. Look at
Yep.
the Tennessee game last year.
Yep. And Wes chimes in. He said, "I can very easily see Arkansas win this weekend. With that, it sets up Arkansas for a very interesting SEC slate. So yeah, because we got Tennessee after this. I mean, we got not a bye week, but then we have Tennessee, and then
It
A&M,
may
Auburn, and
it
a
may be an
gauntlet.
interesting bye week.
Yeah, somebody. If things don't go well, I mean, we could lose, be a close game. I think no one loses their job, but if things just don't go well, somebody's not gonna have a job. I don't know who. There's a lots of
Well,
possibilities.
to me, I think those decisions have probably already been made for the year, and I don't think it's going to matter how he finishes the year. It's going to change the outcome of that.
I think that we'll find out like within the first 15 minutes, like the first quarter, to see how Arkansas is mentally and
Hmm.
physically be able to play this game. And also, I
Yeah.
feel like another point is like it was like a 14-point game. Like Notre Dame's up by 14 after the first quarter, for example. We have seen teams in the past in college football actually fold and just quit
33-8.
on their coach.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I'm hoping in this case we don't see it from an Arkansas perspective because one, you're at home. Two, I feel like this is the game like you brought up. Like it's a game before bye week, before you hit your SEC slate with Tennessee, and especially going to Neyland. So I feel like if you quit on your teammates and then your coaches, we have seen that go sour in college football before, where they basically have quit on the coach and then somebody loses their job over it. So
Yeah.
I
And
just
the
want to say that
thing,
also.
here's the thing: a lot of what you say. There's like five major college football openings right now. You got UCLA, Virginia Tech, and Oklahoma State. I guess only three. I guess
Well,
I don't know.
Right.
Clemson better watch out. They'll be
Yeah,
looking for a coach.
yeah. I mean, so Arkansas. I mean, you might want to get a head start. I mean, on looking for these coaches. But last time, before we hired Pittman, we were the first SEC school to fire our coach, Chad Morris, and we were the last SEC school to fill that position. So it didn't really matter if it was first or we Arkansas drug its feet with Kiffin and some other things there. So Pittman was kind of the only choice.
That's why I feel like um, if you do let Sam Pittman or your defense coordinator go or anybody on staff, it's got to happen during bye week or before a little bit before the bye week actually starts.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can interview other people during that bye week too for that job.
Hmm.
Well, I wonder also if they're scared of players transferring when their coach gets fired in the middle of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. If that happens,
The thing
this
is though,
that's bad. Not gonna be
the
good.
thing is though, if you're a starter though and you played those 4 games
Hmm.
max rule, you can't really redshirt. So
Yeah. Hmm.
think
Yeah.
about that from a perspective too.
Yeah. And also, as Jason has said before, Pittman's buyout it changes if his record's above or below 500. So that might be something they're thinking about too.
Like I said,
Well, Blake,
I
appreciate you
think
having
behind
me
the
on, man.
scenes.
I gotta get ready for work. So
Yeah, I know. I was about to say
man.
I'm about to make John late for work. I can't be having that.
But
I
Blake,
appreciate it.
appreciate you having me on, man. We'll talk
Mm-hmm.
soon.
All right.
Jason, take care as always, man. Y'all do a great job. Good luck this week against Notre Dame.
Yeah,
As a
we're
Memphis
gonna
fan,
need
we're
it.
definitely pulling for you.
Yeah.
But y'all need some
Yeah.
wins, man. Keep turning.
Yeah.
Don't turn the ball over no more.
Yeah. Hey, enjoy those cowbells this weekend. All right.
Hey, hopefully I won't hear. I mean, I just want to be honest with you from an SEC perspective. I hope it's a good game. Mississippi State's going to try to go 5-0 for like the first
Mm-hmm.
time since the Prescott era. It feels like, but
Yeah.
the atmosphere is one reason I'm going. Then I got one friend that's a Tennessee fan, one friend that's a Mississippi
Mm-hmm.
State fan.
Yeah.
That's one reason I'm going with them. It's his birthday, too. But we seen Heupel before, man. Always lose one game unexpectedly
Yeah.
every year.
So this could be it.
So this very well could be the game this weekend.
All right. Well, I'll uh, I'll probably see you this weekend, John. So
All right, Blake.
online. All right.
Take care, Blake.
Mm-hmm.
I think my ears are still ringing from those cowbells.
I don't know. Me and you went when they were just got ranked number one at night game, Mississippi State. It was electric, but Arkansas almost pulled it out. We almost
Yeah,
what's the saying? We almost always win or something. I don't know, but
yeah,
yeah, Memphis. I mean, like I said, it was a good game, good atmosphere. The fans. They weren't. I mean, they were. I say this, they were nice, okay, but we were going back and forth. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Then at the end, we shook hands and they said, just to let you know, we like Coach Cal too. I said, okay. He said, we're not like the Kentucky fans. We actually enjoy seeing Coach Cal's having some success.
you
So
should have
hey,
told them. You should have told them. Well, we'll get y'all a basketball season.
yeah, yeah. So they asked me if I had tickets to the game. I said, no, I'm not. That's in the middle of the week. It's gonna be hard to make that drive from South Arkansas. But
Oh, it's about 4.5 hours one way.
yeah. So go back to this comment from Wes. It said, from Brandon Marcello. He's works for CBS Sports, but he, has ties from Arkansas. He used to work for the Northwest Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Talked about how he's heard Petrino's working the phones. So, but he said, hey, it's better than being on a Harley. So I cannot disagree with that.
I thought he came out a few days ago and said that wasn't
Hmm.
like it's taken out of context, or
Yeah, I think.
which is weird.
Yeah, and then someone went on 1037 The Buzz, one of Petrino's friend, quote unquote friends, and was like, "No, I know Petrino. That's not how it is." So to me,
Hmm.
it seems like the university said, "Hey guys, y'all might want to do some crisis management and go on and say, hey, none of this is true." So I mean, I don't take I take Marcelo's first word because he wouldn't
Yeah.
just put it out there for giggles and grins. I think there's a little bit of truth behind it. But
Oh
I also don't think Petrino would undermine Pittman either.
no, no. I mean, I don't think he would. Uh, but I mean, you want to maybe kind of sit here and think: does if Bobby Petrino does become a head coach, is he prepared to deal in the NIL era?
I mean, he don't do a lot of interviews, but he's done several where he's like he just wants to coach
Hmm.
offense. He don't want to deal with the NIL transfer portal, all the things because when he was a head coach years ago, that's really not a thing. He knew who his
Hmm.
team was going to be year after year because he went out, recruited, did all that. I, I like Petrino. I mean, if he's an option, I mean, I don't think no one will be against it. I think more people will donate to NIL or whatever fund we might have then, because the edge and whatever else they want to call it, the drive for five. It just none of it has worked.
No.
That's the problem is Hunter has not adapted to the. He was hoping that NIL would go away. That's kind of why he didn't be on the forefront. You look at Ole Miss and Mississippi State. That Mississippi has two SEC schools, and they both have more NIL than Arkansas does. But
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Arkansas
And I mean,
has
Mississippi
Walmart.
is. Yeah, I say Mississippi is a poorer state than Arkansas,
Hmm.
so you think
So,
Arkansas would be able to get more NIL
hmm
money.
yeah, and the rollout of this raffle. Between they were fighting Bet Saracen and
Hmm.
and then it's done okay. It's done its job, but it just things like that. It just and every time Hunter opens his mouth, it goes viral on social media for the wrong reasons.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, his comments obviously at the touchdown club. I don't think those were taken out of context or anything. I
Hmm.
think he just said exactly how he felt.
Yeah,
But in the eyes of Arkansas fans, we don't expect to compete for a national championship every year. We just want to. We just want to get
yeah,
maybe 8, 9 wins a year, and we
yeah,
would be happy. It's not
yeah.
necessarily just because we know how hard it is to compete for
Hmm.
one.
Yep, yep. But yeah, he's past 2 years at the touchdown club. He has not been. I don't know if he doesn't know what he's saying or doesn't mean what he's saying, but it's just not. Last year was talking about how if we want to beat Ole Miss, we gotta get. I need y'all to donate more money. And now this year, it's like,
Hmm.
well, we're not set up to win a national championship. And then after those comments, you go out and lose to Memphis. I mean, the players' confidence to me is probably not very high right now.
Well, I think you have to get rid of Yurchek if you get rid of Pittman.
Oh yeah, they have to be tied.
Because you don't want Yurchek doing another coaching search. Because Pittman is his only true hire
Hmm.
when you look at it. Uh, Calipari was basically given it by Tyson.
Yeah.
Yurchek wasn't going out there talking to him. Even
Uh,
who
Dave
else?
Van Horn. I mean,
Yeah, well,
Van Horn's been
Dave Van
there.
Horn's been here.
Hmm.
Um, there was another coach.
About
Uh,
basketball.
yeah, it was Musselman.
I mean, Musselman. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and Musselman was a great hire.
Hmm.
Musselman just wanted to kind of head back home. It
Yeah,
seems,
but
which is fine.
Pittman is Yurchek's like only true
Hmm.
hire from himself at the U of
Yeah,
A, and it's been a disaster.
yeah.
I mean,
I want
we had that one good season, where
to.
he took that picture sitting on a throne with
Yeah.
all
Ever since
those
that picture,
trophies.
ever since that picture, it's been downhill. Or ever since KJ tried a Superman dive to the end zone, it's been downhill
Uh,
for old Pittman.
Ever since Larry the bowling ball come around.
Yeah, old Larry. Hey, well, Larry might show up again. You never know.
Uh,
We
I
might
don't
we
think
might turn it
Larry's.
around.
I don't think Larry's showing up this year.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw this picture about ADs and their football winning percentage, but Hunter's is at the bottom. I don't want to say the wrong number, but I want to say it's like
Hmm.
39% maybe of football winning percentage.
Well, I think Oklahoma State's their AD had a really good response to the
Hmm.
firing of Mike Gundy,
Hmm.
uh, doing it mid-season versus waiting to the end of the year. If you wait to the end of the year, you're competing with other schools and
Yeah,
potentially falling a year or two
yeah.
behind.
And he's getting paid 15 million to not coach, and they're fine with
Hmm.
that. We're over here counting pennies. Worried about a $9-10 million buyout for Pittman, but it's I think Razorback fan. I don't think any Razorback fan expected Pittman to last this. After this season, I think everyone knew this was probably going to be his last year, but I don't think people saw it kind of ending possibly kind of early. We're only 4 games in, about to be five into the
Well,
season.
I think on this show, was it last year or the season before that, we said if they don't get rid of Sam, they're going to
Hmm.
fall 5 years behind everybody else
Yep.
just due to having to rebuild everything.
Yep.
And our the next 3 years of our conference schedules are brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel bad. You got to feel bad for a new coach coming into that.
Yeah. Yeah. We got permanent opponents of LSU, Texas, and Missouri, who are all three of those could win the
Hmm.
SEC this year. I mean,
So
two of them might be in the championship together. You don't know. I
it
mean,
it doesn't get easier.
no, it's
Uh,
it's a tough schedule. Uh,
When you get a non-conference game, you're losing a non-conference
yeah.
game, which is usually a cupcake team. To be honest,
Hmm. Yeah.
you take that out. We're looking at maybe 3 wins a year.
Yeah. Which this luckily phrase that Memphis got taken off the schedule because having that 9 game with Memphis on there. I mean, I know Memphis fans. I know y'all are excited. I mean, I was excited. I think Arkansas and Memphis should be. I mean, they're only. I think West told me about 3.5 hours apart. Maybe I could be wrong with that, but they're not super far apart. So I would
No,
love for all sports, football, basketball, baseball, for it to be something.
yeah, I'm looking at our schedule next year, and yeah, maybe 3 wins. I can see the
Yeah.
North Alabama
Oh yeah.
Lions,
Yeah. Let's go get
The
them
Utah
Lions.
Utes,
Yeah.
and
Utah's good too.
Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Who just beat Oklahoma State. So
So
what a
yeah, that.
schedule.
Oh, then you go into Georgia, LSU,
Hmm.
Missouri,
Yeah.
South Carolina's questionable,
Yeah.
Tennessee, Auburn, Texas, A&M, and Vanderbilt.
But all right, so let's talk about the fight Irish real quick. And I know not a lot of. I mean, you listen to any podcast, anybody, their talk of the game is not of the actual game is not very high
Mm-hmm.
right now. But we'll say they have a great running back who was a Heisman kind of dark horse early in the season. It's not had the greatest start to the year. And Jeremiah Love has carried the ball 52 times, 284 yards, average 5.5 yards a carry, has 3 touchdowns on the year. I think that's the key to this game this weekend is uh, just stopping the run game. But I just, like I said, our defense, we know who they are. So
Mm-hmm.
um, so I think it should be a back. I hope it's a back and forth game. But I hate 11 o'clock kickoffs at home for the Razorbacks because it does not seem to go very well at all. No matter who we're playing, we're playing Liberty. I mean, it's 11 o'clock kickoffs at home
Mm-hmm.
are not good, and we always seem to crap to bed at home, no matter what time it is. I mean, you could have a depleted Auburn team come in. There's been times where we should have blown teams out at home, but we just
Mm-hmm.
haven't.
Well, I mean, for us though, we've got to get that run game going. I mean, our
Mm-hmm.
season leader right now is Taylor Green.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get the running backs doing something.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a lot of throws that Taylor Green had in the first 2 games that when you look at it, if you play a better opponent, those are interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
yes, he has improved, but when you play against good competition, it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Uh,
And he's his Taylor Green's he reminds me of a kicker with his confidence. If he's doing really good, his offense
hmm
going to be really good, and then if he has a mistake, it kind of snowballs into more mistakes. So getting him off to a good start. I thought there's a couple plays on that last drive with Memphis. I thought Washington was gonna house it. I mean, he
hmm
put that foot in the ground, and you could see a little hole, and he's got some speed to him, but it just didn't work. And like I said, at the end, he could have been just a little bit tired, fumbled the ball. We
hmm
in the stands, we didn't know no one knew it was a fumble till we saw the players celebrating.
That's yeah.
And
When I was listening on the radio, it's what it sounded like. It sounded like didn't
mhm,
hardly anybody see it.
yeah, and then we saw it on the video board. I was like, oh no, it's a pretty clear fumble. But outside the fumble, Arkansas did have a chance to stop. You can get dragged 9 yards.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
they should have had him at the line of scrimmage. They should have allowed him to continue to basically bulldog his way through there.
yeah,
That
yeah.
just showed you, Memphis wanted it more than we did.
Hmm. Yeah, but I think this game Saturday, I think every game Arkansas is going to be in is going to be exciting just because of the offense. I think the offense is going to score points to keep you in it, but by the
hmm
midway through the third, fourth quarter, that's when the other team probably starts to take over. I just that defense, you get that running game going, fourth quarter, everyone's tired, and that run game just keeps getting 4 or 5 yards a carry. It's devastating to a defense who's already pretty bad. In the
hmm
stands this week, Memphis, first quarter, Memphis fans are saying, "Oh, refs don't help them out," and the guy in front of me goes, "Hey, we'll get all the help we can get on defense."
Yeah,
Uh,
that's hopefully we don't struggle too much this weekend. But I mean, I don't think Notre Dame is as good as we think they are.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all they're a bad team. I just don't think they're as good as we early in the
Yeah.
season expected them to be.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, this may be one of those classic, games where Arkansas sneaks up on somebody,
Yeah. Like
ends up pulling
ten.
pulling out a win.
Yeah. Like Tennessee last year.
Hmm.
We didn't really think that was going to be a win, and there you go. But the line has moved. When it very first opened, it was about 11 to 12 points. It's
Hmm.
gone down to three. Depending who you look at, 3.5, 5.5 points. So Vegas knows something. We always say that.
Oh yeah, I mean Vegas is not going to lose money.
No. So
Trying to
this,
see, I just had it up here. I thought I had seen it.
but yeah, this is an important game for I think for Pittman. Now this is going to show if the players fight for Pittman or they just going to lay down. If
Hmm.
they care about their head coach or it's just
Yeah, well, I
not.
think, like I said earlier tonight, I think those decisions have already been made.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't, this game's not going to help Pittman at all, whether he stays or goes.
Yeah. So what's your final score prediction for this game? I know we haven't really previewed it much, but like I said, there's a lot of bigger issues this week than the number 22 ranked team coming to Arkansas.
Oh, I gotta think about that because I haven't
Yeah,
even thought about a
yeah,
score.
yeah. Well, I'll go.
Um,
I got 52 for the Golden Domers. 52 to 24. I don't think it's close at all.
oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh, 52. Wow.
yeah. 50, 51, 52. It's in the 50s. They're scoring 50 points on us.
See, I don't think they're going to score. They'll get close to 50, but
Mhm.
they won't get over 50. Um, so we'll say 49-21.
Okay. So, anyways, we want you to bet obviously take the Fighting Irish with or just go money line. I mean, or take the 3.5 points that they give you. It's really not going to matter this weekend. So, I want to thank SeatGeek as always for presenting us, helping us out, and we help you out with the promo code of Four Star Sports Media to get $20 off your $50 order. So, like I said on the conference crunch this Sunday, that'll come in handy with Arkansas tickets later in the year when they're pretty dirt cheap. So, might be
Yeah,
coming up there.
or use them for basketball.
Yeah, basketball's coming up.
Their first exhibition game is what, next month?
Hmm. So it's exciting, and
Yeah.
Cal's been
Well,
he's
Oc-
got some big time recruits coming that have been on campus. So,
October 24th, they play
hmm,
Cincinnati in the exhibition game.
yep. So it's almost time. It's
Yeah.
almost time for
Well,
that circle. You know what picture I'm talking about, where football starts to suck. Oh, it's basketball season, and basketball sucks, and now it's baseball season, and it's just a cycle, the Razorback
well,
cycle.
I'm excited for basketball season.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
I think we have a pretty good schedule this year.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's a tough one, but it's needed. Um,
Yeah.
and we're also brought to you by Athletic Brewing Company, who's one of the up and comers in the non-alcoholic beer scene. Check them out. Also, our guest of the week was brought to you by Southwest Airlines. So make sure you scan that QR code that's on the Four Star website and Facebook page, and also brought to you by Fanatics. So make sure you scan those QR codes that are out there on the Four Star pages. So no, I know it was a lot of Memphis talk, but I felt like it was needed. We'll talk about this game next week. Plan to have a former Irish on the show next week if Jonathan can get him on the show. That'd be cool to talk to him. But anything else, Jason, before we end it on the happy hour?
No. You know, watch the game, cheer them on, but keep your expectations low.
Hmm. Just like Trey Biddy always says, you can hate this team, love this team, but you are married to this team, and you will watch it. No matter you will watch it, even if you say you will not watch it,
Oh
or if you
no,
cannot watch it, you will keep up with it somehow, some way.
mm-hmm. I'll still listen to it. Let's not forget that I went to every single home game during the John L. Smith era,
Yep, yep.
and
And we sat through some Chad Morris games.
that's 9 hours round trip every Saturday.
Hmm. Yep. But
Yep.
make sure you donate to the fund though. They don't
Oh,
care that Hunter wants your money. He don't care that you travel 9 hours round trip.
I honestly don't think he really keeps good track of that.
Yeah. Well, it's before I get out here, just say it's almost plain tracking season. Arkansas fans, you know what that's all about.
Hmm.
So a lot of fans outside of Arkansas call us crazy for doing it. It's just a tradition here with the Woo Pig fandom that when a coach is fired, we like to track planes. They're going to Florida, Mississippi, Texas, all over the place, and sometimes they're just tracking a BOT member who's going to a meeting, but. But we love playing tracking season, so it might be upon us, might not, but we will watch, we will cheer them on, and we appreciate everyone joining us tonight, and we will see you next week.